How to stop being horny, 13 vital tips to control yourself. The last time I checked, being horny is an intrinsic part of humans. You don't have to feel silly or weird about it. As long as your body systems are functioning correctly, it's perfectly normal to have sexual urges. It doesn't matter what your sexuality or orientation is. What's more, it's not wrong to think about sex. Some people think it's sinful, a taboo, or only sluts desire sex outside marriage. While all these are untrue assumptions, it also doesn't mean you want to give in to sexual desire all the time. Not that it's wrong to satisfy a sexual urge, but there are reasons a person may not want to give in to a sexual desire. Perhaps, you are young and not ready for sex, need to focus on a task, on a celibacy journey, or your partner happens to be in another time zone. If you can relate to these reasons, you'd probably need the tips from this article. In the end, these tips will help you focus more, avoid the temptations of cheating on your man, and also maintain your journey of celibacy, especially when you have a high sexual drive or libido. 13 tips on how to stop being horny. 1. Get busy. The truth is, you can't wish your sexuality or sexual urge away. Even if you feel you are developing an addiction and the sexual desire is becoming frequently distracting, you just have to adopt some discipline. One of the ways to do that is to get busy. Sexual urges usually creep in when your mind is unproductive or fallow. If you find yourself doing nothing most of the time, it'll be a bit challenging to keep sexual urges away. It could get worse if you are not sexually active or not in a relationship. In keeping yourself busy, you can read a book, engage in DIY activities around the house, etc. This way, you'll occupy the mind and temporarily stop feeling horny. 2. Have a schedule. This tip is a sequel or related to the one above. Apart from just getting busy, a practice you can adopt on how to stop being horny is to maintain a strict schedule. As I mentioned earlier, the desire to have sex mostly creeps during periods you are not engaging your mind. Identify these periods and schedule activities. If it's nighttime, perhaps when you return from work, you can schedule some non-stress activities during this time. It could be simple yoga, learning a new language, or reading a book. 3. It's time to say no to porn. If you truly want to learn how to reduce or stop being horny, you might want to cut down or completely stay away from watching porn. Porn videos are highly graphic. They are scripted to reveal all the details. So, while conventional Hollywood movies can cause a little sexual excitement with some nude scenes, pornographic movies bear it all and can make your sexual desire strong. If you are the type that has a high libido and looking to stay faithful in a long-distance relationship, staying away from soft and hardcore pornography will do you a lot of good. The mind/brain never sleeps. Even while you are asleep, your mind keeps working, and that's why you dream. I believe you don't need me to tell you that what you feed into your brain is what it will process. So, the more the sexual image and videos you consume, the more your brain will recall when you are less busy, causing you to have more sexual urges. 4. Masturbate. Perhaps, you are having a hard time concentrating because you can't keep the unwanted thoughts out of your mind. Masturbation might be a quick fix to release some of that sexual energy. At this point, I'd like to add that some people get addicted to masturbation so much that it affects their productivity. So, it's a good idea to adopt the practice with some level of discipline. What's more, it's not uncommon for people to use mental fuel like porn to stimulate the mind when they masturbate. Remember, porn is mental fuel your mind can replay anytime you are less busy or even asleep. You don't want to add petrol to the fire. 5. Exercise. Not every woman likes the idea of masturbating as a quick fix for being horny. Therefore, another way of releasing some of that sexual energy is to exercise. Exercising is a physical activity that can help in burning the body's calories. When you notice you have built up some sexual energy and are feeling super horny, you can head out for a run. If you've got access to a gym, you can also engage in some small weightlifting or skipping. The great thing about this tip is that you'll let out that sexual energy and also burn some calories. 6. Avoid physical activity that stimulates your genitals. Avoid physical activity that stimulates your genitals. I just mentioned that exercising can help release some of that sexual energy. Well, other physical activities can also make you horny. So, if you want to avoid being horny when you don't need it, you might want to know them. These activities usually stimulate the genitals or the muscles around your genitals, causing the body to release hormones that'll put you in a sex mood. Examples of such exercises include cycling, squats, hip thrusts, etc. 7. Take a cold shower. If you feel horny while your man is in another time zone and masturbation isn't your thing, a cold shower can help expel some of that sexual energy. Cold water has a way of relaxing and calming the nerves. It ushers your body into a calmer state, thereby making the horny feeling subside. The challenge with this tip is that you can quickly take a cold shower if you feel horny outside your home or comfort zone. 8. Have a schedule for phone/internet use. The internet has become our go-to place when we want to escape without really leaving our rooms or usual position. Thanks to mobile phones and similar tech devices, we all are one click away from virtually anything you desire to see. The internet can be a place of fun and learning. Sadly, if you are trying to not feel horny, the internet might not be one of the best places to be all the time. Even if you are not visiting pornographic sites, Instagram, Facebook, and other social media platforms can also be a source of sexually related content. That said, you can't do without your phone. So, the best approach is to have a strict schedule for having fun on the internet. This way, you can avoid some of that mental fuel that makes you aroused when you don't need to be. 9. Hang out with friends. If you are just hitting puberty and feeling horny has now become almost a regular thing, a good idea to counter some of those urges will be to hang out with friends, especially if you are not yet ready for active sex life. I know it's not easy tucking them in when your hormones are newly raging wild. Being in the company of friends can help keep your mind off your thoughts. What's more, activities with friends can also help keep your mind busy. Heads up, you want to make sure your friends are not the ones that'll initiate sexual conversation or suggest sexually related activities or movies. 10. Avoid common aphrodisiac food. In case you didn't know, some foods are natural aphrodisiacs. Nutritionists recommend them to individuals that don't get horny as often as they should, i.e., have low libido. The food increases libido so that people can have a more enjoyable sex life. So, if you are trying to reduce the rate at which you get horny, perhaps to help you stay faithful in your relationship, you'll do well to stop eating these foods. Examples include pistachio nuts, maca, tribulus also known as bindi, red ginseng, fenugreek, saffron, etc. Frustrated that he doesn't pay you as much attention as he used to? This is one of the most common issues our female readers face. The number one factor that causes men to behave this way is actually relatively easy to change with a few subtle things you can say to him today. Watch this free video, click on the link to watch, that my friend recorded, which explains how you can become his priority. 11. See a doctor. While being horny is perfectly normal, you might want to see a doctor if you feel your sexual energy is in overdrive. Perhaps, you are finding it a bit difficult to concentrate because you feel horny all the time. It might be that you have the number one factor that causes men to behave this way is actually relatively easy to change with a few subtle things you can say to him today. Watch this free video, click on the link to watch, that my friend recorded, which explains how you can become his priority. 11. See a doctor. While being horny is perfectly normal, you might want to see a doctor if you feel your sexual energy is in overdrive. Perhaps, you are finding it a bit difficult to concentrate because you feel horny all the time. It might be that you have an erratic hormone level. With the right diagnosis, your doctor may prescribe the right medication or approach to help normalize your hormonal flow, which will also help your menstrual cycle. 12. Music can help. Music can help.